Hey guys, we're back. Welcome to the vlog. So we're gonna make sure that's dry. Yes, it is. So yeah, we're gonna put the safety latch back on low and slow. The wheels are painted. We're gonna put the hubcaps on. And I just realized something. With these pilot hub wheels on steel, being that this doesn't have aluminum wheels, the hub pilot guides kind of stick out a bit. So I don't know if my chrome covers are going to go over those or not. And when I say chrome covers, I mean stainless covers, but I think that looks really good. I think that's going to look cool, at least until I can get aluminum wheels. So anyways, let's get started. So sadly, I was correct. The hubcaps don't fit because they hang up on here because they hit the little tabs that are sticking out. But you know what? That's okay. I think I'm going to leave it. Well, obviously I'm going to leave it like this, but I think it looks pretty good. You know, for having steel wheels, I think that looks pretty good. So for the back, we're going to put these truck hubcaps on. So these screw on to the back of the nuts, or the remaining bit of the stud. So we'll see how these go, and they'll cover the whole hub. I didn't paint the hub because, well, I knew I was going to be covering it up anyways. But yeah, paint's dry. I got a little bit overspray on the tire, but I can fix that. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So it'll look even better when we get some chrome on it. Heck yeah. So let's see how these trucks hubcaps look. Oh yeah. Looks better already. Get rid of the box. Oh, yeah. That screams old school. Oh, these just push on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How the heck does that work? Don't tell me these go behind the nuts, because that's going to be... You know what? I didn't even look. ABS threaded nut cover. Installation needed for push-on nut covers only. Well, that's not going to work. They might work on the cab over, though. When I say the cab over, I mean Kenny. Dang it. 1.5" push on. So these are the wrong ones. Jiminy Crickets. That would be why we have them. They look good though. Hey? Shoot, I never even thought to check. I just assumed we wouldn't have double nut 1.5", but somebody obviously ordered them by mistake, which is probably why we had them, because those definitely don't fit. Now, I wonder if I got some thread on, because these were supposed to go and thread on, but oh, that's a stinker. That really is. Oh well, on to the next project. Okay. So, there. There. Ah. Turkey. That's better. Okay. There. That's better. All right, I changed an O-ring in the pump so that hopefully it won't leak. Changed 2 O-rings actually, so we'll jack it up. And we jack it up until the safety falls down on that that hole that's there. There's a tab that it falls on. So yeah, I'll keep jacking. She's as clean under the hood as I'm going to get it right now. And when I say under the hood, I mean under the cab. So I degreased it a little bit, put a little acid wash on there, tried not to get too much to like make it milky white. I'm going to get some non-etch to hit it. And look at that engine. It just looks fantastic. Fantastic. Now here's something interesting that I discovered. Now the air conditioning doesn't work, but it's all hooked up. And look what I found. A broken wire. I wonder if that could be the secret to making air conditioning. Do you think it still works? I'd be shocked if it still works, but hey, maybe it's just a broken wire. But really like how those wheels turned out with the nut covers. I also cleaned the roof. The roof had, of course, some, well, that black moldy spotty stuff. You can see where there's been something on the roof that's been siliconed. I don't know, probably a beacon light now that I think about it. Yeah, I bet you it had a beacon light once. There's obviously something there. I don't know. I'm going to call it a radio bracket. That would be my guess. But I'm going to lower it down. I took the the GVW decals off because we don't need them in BC, and they're ugly. But yeah, overall it looks pretty good. They've got belting to protect cables and wires and hoses, which is really good. There's not much on the engine for leaks. I did degrease it because there was a little bit there. But look at this. So this is an air conditioning line, and the clutch is still here and the belt is still here. So you never know. Could it be that we plug it in and it works? I don't know. I don't think I'm that lucky, but is there only one wire that goes to these things? There's got to be another wire. Oh, doesn't there? Doesn't there have to be another wire? Interesting. So that's hooked there. Don't know what that wire does. Don't know what that wire does. I can't help but think there's got to be more wires here. So I'll be surprised if that works. But so This cover is needing a big polish. I'll straighten that little bracket out. But overall, pretty happy. Everything has been protected really well and covered up. And, you know, that's a really, really good sign. Really good sign. It's interesting. There's like a little air bank over there. But yeah, I'm gonna get the grease happening. Yeah, give it my own little inspection, give it a grease job. Gonna have to fix this window. Just trying to decide, it might not even be dented there, just pushed in right there because the glass is all pooched. But when I pull this out, I'll have to sand all this down and clean up the rust. But oh, and I can change my Pete emblems, mind you. That's not held on with much, so it's probably been glued. But I got this handy. I'll just set you guys down here. When I got my 1/2-inch drive impact, it was a 2-pack with greaser, and I was like, well, I don't really need the greaser, but it could be handy. So it's even got a light on it. Does that make me spoiled? I think it does make me spoiled. How do we, there we go. So give it a grease job. That was one of my first jobs, was greasing trucks. Hands down, the most important job you can do with your truck is grease. Servicing and grease. So it's funny because it's the most important job, because that's where you see stuff, you see things that could be loose, and yet it's usually given to the new guy, the greenhorn, so to speak. There we go. Push that in. So yeah, greasing, most important job. If you're a grease monkey, consider yourself the most important part of the operation. I should have read the directions. Will the grease just start coming out? Oh, there we go. Push this little plug. Grease comes out. Better get my paper towel ready, because I'm gonna make a mess. Well, I'm gonna try not to make a mess. But you know how that works greasing? You usually make a mess. Yeah. Okay. Of course, this is the first use of this, so. Oh. She's there. We reached liftoff. Yeah. Mike, oh, I don't want to make a mess. What does Mike do? He makes a mess. Yeah. So, let's lube this sucker. Grease cam. There we go. I think I'm going to give it a liberal grease, just because I don't know the last time it was greased. And of course there is such a thing as over greasing. And I'd say I'm guilty of over grease. I can't help it. You know what? Yeah. Grease the kingpins. Hopefully they're okay. There we go. Just want to get as much of the nice, clean, new grease in as I can. This auto greaser is kind of handy. We're making progress. This is interesting. I found all this wire tied up in the frame, and it looks to be like telephone communication wire. I'm guessing that once upon a time in its life, it had a box for the oil patch on the back that they must have had a phone and stuff, or VHF radios and stuff. So I dug that wire out. Yeah, it's looking really good. Nice and clean. My engine's nice and clean. Now, this is interesting. This pull cable here is actually to lift this little lever. So when you jack it down, you pull that lever and it pops this up, so you don't actually have to stand under the cab. Nice, nice and safe. And I fixed this wire here that was off the air conditioning, whatever that is, I'm not sure. Maybe the AC will work. I doubt it, but it'd be kind of awesome. I've got a block heater plug here, a circulating heater here, as well as an oil pan heater down there. So this is the oil pan heater and circulating heater. Block heater up there. I think it's safe to say that this thing was built for cold weather. It's got the insulated oil pan cover on it, so that it's, you know, insulated. So yeah, I pulled there were some little black stickers for some moose whistles or deer whistles, so I pulled those off. Pulled the CB antenna off because it's not doing anything. Yeah, I told you guys about the roof already, and yeah, it's coming along. I also there's a little bar on the mirror here I took off, took the antenna bracket there. I tilted the mirror out a bit more, so when I get it down, I'll adjust it. But I'm just tying things up, doing a little recon work. There's 2 wires on each side, so I think those are driving light wires. So I'll have to see about putting driving lights on it. Now these spring packs don't look that old, so I'm thinking somewhere along the line somebody beefed it up. But it also only has 2 batteries. But if they're 2 new batteries, they work good. I'm gonna hit this with some black paint. I'd almost like to make it red, but I ran out of red paint, so I'll have to wait till I get more red paint in. But anyways, I'm gonna put the new emblem on. Yes, I am. Because while that's drying, I want to change to the new emblem. I'll just have to be careful I don't wreck it, but, well, why would I wreck it? It's crazy that this is held on with just these little kind of, I don't even know what kind of nuts they're called, but they're like spring nuts or something. There. Ta-da! Look at that. It actually looks really good. I think I'm gonna keep this for, maybe I'll make a necklace out of it. Yo, it's Peterbilt Mike. You like Flavor Flay and the rapper. But you know what I am gonna do? I'm gonna put a little 3M tape on the new one and clean this up because it's got some schmarm on it. "26 years of gunk behind the emblem." looks amazingly good though. Oh hey, that's got a bit of a curve to it for the emblem. Didn't know that. I learned something new. Actually, there we go. There. Oh. Rinse this one off. Awesome. So I've got some 3M tape, and I'm going to put it on, and I also have some new nuts. The 3M tape I'm going to put on the back of the emblem as just an added benefit, because how often do you see one where part of it comes off and it's going down the road? Oh, look at that. Oh, that looks so awesome. Yeah, you see a Pete going down the road or another truck where half the emblem's hanging off. So I'll just put a couple of strips of 3M just as a little preventative measure. I'm also curving it a bit so that when water gets behind it, it runs off, because I don't want it to have water sit on it, because then it'll corrode. Nothing too much, but just enough to help hold it on. See, 2 strips, and I made them curve so that way when it's on there, if water gets on there, which it will, it'll run off to the side and not just pool behind your tape. So not entirely sure how these go on. I guess you just screw them on, because they're these springy ones. Springy's probably not the right word, but anyways, let's stick this bad boy on. Make sure it's dry. Do 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 do. It's handy to have a roll of this 3M at home. Anytime you got a project where you really need something to stick. Oh, this is awesome. Like a glove. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, now let's screw these on. There. Look at this. That looks beautiful. Just beautiful. And I never noticed that this has got a curve for the Pete emblem. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. I can put the ones on the side now too, since I have the cab up, because that looks really good. Now this side one, it's been stuck on before. Almost looks like there's Bondo there too, but I'm using a plastic tool to try and pry it off without marking anything. good or not. Well, this has got a whole bunch of glue on it. That would do it. Ta-da! Don't want to drop too much garbage on the ground. There, got her all cleaned up. Gosh, that's awesome. Oh, so good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All those tools on the floor. When I say floor, I mean ground. There. Oh, I love it. Love it. That's the way it should look. Yeah. I guess you put some stainless bolts in there to hide that because it looks kind of mean. I'm gonna have to sand it all down and paint it. Means I'm gonna have to take those off too. But right now, maybe just some bolts. Well, I decided to take and spray paint this battery box. Straighten the air tank drain bar, and yeah, tied up some more wires. I don't know what these wires do, so I just tied them up and I'll go in the truck and see what they do tomorrow. At least that's the plan. So I painted that step black, and this, I realized, is bent. I need to move it over straight. And the battery box, there's a crack right there, which I'm gonna have to attend to. But I had the spray bomb out, so I decided to paint a little bit of the frame. What do you think? I mean, it was pressure washed, degreased, and all the rest of it, so I think that looks better. And you know what? If it doesn't last, who cares? We'll touch it up again. But yeah, that looks way better. Way better. Got the emblem on this side. And I gotta lower the cab down. I want to touch up those wipers too. Yeah, even painted my dipstick tube, try and prevent any rust. But anyways, so now I need to jack it down. This thing apparently loses pressure. So this should start to, I think it should start to move. Yeah, it's getting harder. Oops. There we go. There we go. You can see that's moving. And then now, we pull this. Of course, it's a little bit, the cable's seized. But when you pull that, this flips up. I should jack it some more. There. Then this flips up to lift it up there. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the cable's seized, so I'll have to get a new cable, because that's a handy dandy little thing, so you don't have to go under there. I'd use air, but I don't have it. There we go. Okay. Oh, this thing can come back down. Is that the... Yeah. There. It should start to do on its own soon. Interesting that these are not up. I guess maybe those go in that's the other way. It's one thing I find with this, you gotta learn how it all works, and I guess I could try and see online, but essentially we're jacking it down, and once we get past the over center point, it'll come down on its own. Then we'll flip the valve back the other way to slow it down, which will then raise your locks, because the locks are tied in with it. So you always want to stand back, I'm sure, so it doesn't land on your head. I mean, that would be awful if it did. If I had, there we go. Now we're almost past the, like that. Go on its own yet? Should go on its own. Oh yeah, look, my dogs are up. Now it's going on its own. There we go. Now when it does that, it pushes the jacks up. It's quite the little engineering. Water running out of places. Nice if it went a little bit faster. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's good that it does go faster. There. Now, it doesn't sit all the way back because I think the bushing up here is loose a little bit. So, pretty sure it'll bounce its way back there. I think you can see that it's kind of been like that. Where's the locking dog? Yeah, it's not quite over. Oh, there it goes. There's the lock. So yeah, if I tighten up those bushings, oh yeah, and I forgot to show you guys the crack in here. But I fixed that air conditioning wire, so I can't wait to see if it works. I mean, I'm really not holding out any hope. But look at that with the Pete emblem. Oh, that is a way to represent. Andrew put a Mickey ball on it. Like I said before, Disney geeks gotta have a Mickey ball if you got an antenna. But yeah, she's looking better. Just wish those chrome caps fit, for frick's sakes. So now I'm gonna have to wait until next week so I can buy some screw-ons. And I think I can still use the caps. I just need to get the screw-on nut covers. But yeah, pretty happy with how it's turning out so far, and just about ready to go get her inspected. Yeah, and maybe make it to the show and shine next weekend. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace. I'm tired. Smoky, hazy and smoky. It was hot this morning too. It was like 30 degrees. It's like ridiculous. 30 degrees and humid. Feels like I'm in Florida. I'm not in Florida. And I just gave myself a paint sliver. Look at that. That's ouch. Ow. Well, it was kind of ridiculous. I should try and fix this too. All in due time. All in due time.